you'll want to avoid this trick if you're trying to make money without burning out. So there is one trick that the world will give you whenever you're trying to achieve something. And let me just jump right into it here. So if you've watched my previous video, you'll know that it comes in a polarity. So there are two sides to everything, right? There's the positive, there's the negative, there is the money you're making right now, and there's the money you want to make, right? So when it comes to this polarity, there is also the idea of hustle culture and the idea of just procrastination, right? Procrastination. And what you'll notice is that if you start going, okay, I'm going to go all the way over here to hustle, so making it all the way to the end of this polarity, what's going to end up happening is a few things. Either one is you'll get sick. Two, whatever you're working on just won't work. Or three, you'll just plain burn out and you just don't want to do it anymore, right? And the reason why that happens is the law of polarity says that if you go all the way to this end, you're going to swing all the way back over here. So once these things happen, you're going to go and say, oh man, I did too much and it didn't even work, or I'm sick now and I can't do anything. So you end up at this side of the polarity. And the issue with that is, now that you're this side of the polarity, if you're here for long enough, you're going to be like, oh man, I got to get back into it. So you're going to have some sort of paradigm shift. And that paradigm shift is going to say, oh man, I got to get back into that hustle culture. So then you're going to swing all the way back over here again. And then what's going to happen? This cycle is going to repeat. You're going to get sick. Things are not going to work. Right? And then you're going to swing all the way back over here to that procrastination side of things again. And the thing is, you'll continue this cycle of going back and forth and swinging from one end to the other. The only way to defeat this is to not swing yourself so far into one side or the other, right? This is kind of what I mentioned before in the polarity video about trying to transcend above, or the rhythm video where I say to try to transcend above the rhythm. The polarities are here. Then you have the rhythms of the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. And with your mindset, you need to get up here to transcend above all of that. And the reason why that's so important is what you want to do is you want to reach that balance. So between procrastination and rest and hustle culture, you might want to be around here, right? Enough intensity to actually break through from your old identity and get to your new identity. But not so much that you're going to hit this spot and swing back around. So you want to be above the polarity. So as you go through and you start taking actions, you're going to realize, oh, hey, okay, I need to balance this out. So what I'm going to do is rest today, or spend a few hours and resting those few hours so that I'm recharged and can do this intensity again. So what do we learn? Basically, what we learned is that you will swing from polarity to polarity if you don't transcend above this polarity with your mindset to learn when to rest and when to be intense. So once you get to a certain point, you're going to find that you may not need this full intensity. You may need to just maintain and balance until you get your next goal. Then, of course, with your next goal, you're probably going to have to get a little bit of intensity. to break through from that old identity into the new identity. So you may be asking, how could I practically apply this to myself? Well, the first thing I would say is notice where you are in that polarity, right? Are you too far this way where you're not doing much? Are you too far that way where you're just hustling to burn out? Then, based on that, you're going to ask yourself some questions. So the first question you're going to ask yourself is, how much of this intensity or how much of this lack of intensity can I sustain? So if you're too far here in the hustle culture, you're going to say, all right, I need to schedule in some rest. So that way I don't burn out by going the full intensity and having that polarity swing. And if you're on the opposite end, you're going to notice, okay, this is my old identity, and I'm trying to get to a new identity, which is somewhere on this side of the spectrum. So if I realize, oh, I'm not doing much at all, I need that intensity to break through of the old identity's grasp, you're going to say, all right, what actions can I take? What can I schedule? So I can schedule the actions to actually give me the intensity I need to break through that old identity and get towards the new identity without swinging so far to the edge of the polarity, which is the hustle culture. All right. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll get to them, and I may make another video on it if it needs a longer discussion. If not, I'll just respond to your comments. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to follow me. If this is on YouTube, you can subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, which again, I'm going to put a link down to my LinkedIn also, so you guys can follow that. And if you're following this on LinkedIn, just make sure to follow me and see any of my new content that comes out. And I hope all of that helps you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.